do it, I become the enemy.
What is good, guys? Welcome back to the NNESAGA channel. It is your girl Stephanie from NNESAGA. We also have Tayo here from NNESAGA, e.lga.to here from NNESAGA, and Steven here from NNESAGA. How are you doing, guys?
All good, all good.
Gang's here. We're going to deep dive into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on your thoughts below, and let's begin. So today's an exciting one, as myself and e.lga are going to be joining Steven and Tayo on today's review on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What was you expecting going into the movie? And my second question is, how did you feel after the movie?
Well, I mean, so how I felt about the movie going in, I don't know how I necessarily felt, but I had to like binge watch WandaVision and What If to kind of like understand like the full scope of the story, because I just didn't have the time before. But when I finished WandaVision, I thought Wanda would be like, I don't know, normal, even after like the end credit scene. But I didn't expect her to be the villain, because I kind of avoided majority of the trailers, because I was like, I don't want to get spoiled, because I feel like the trailers kind of like give too much away, and I like to be surprised when I watch a movie. So I didn't expect her to be like the primary villain of the film.
At first I would say that I was expecting Infinity War and Endgame hype. And the reason why I say that is because I just thought the way they did all the promo and stuff, it was gonna be so big. But then the closer we got to the actual release date, I thought, you know, let me regulate my mind, because if I go into there expecting so much, I'm going to be disappointed. And I'm happy that I did that. So it's not that I went in with low expectations, but I managed my expectations, and it more or less met what I was expecting.
Well, not to say I didn't have high expectations for the movie, but I feel like the way they were marketing the movie, they were expecting us to have the high expectations. Even from the series, from Loki, WandaVision, the Spider-Man, they kept mentioning things about multiverse, and Doctor Strange was here or there, and it felt like they were building up to something huge.
I thought it was going to be like, going off for Tayo, so I thought it was going to be Endgame levels. Like, I thought I was going to cry. I thought I was going to flare up. I thought I was going to have snot bubbles. Like, I was just going to do a Madzine. Like, I wanted it to be Multiverse of a Madzine, not Multiverse of Madness light. That's, like I was saying in another thing, like, I didn't want it to be a thing where you order Coke, you end up getting Diet Coke. That's how I felt in terms of like the horror aspect of it. You know, the first thing we want to get into is the plot and the story, and in terms of like how everyone felt about it. I felt like the story could have been a lot more punchier. It wasn't a whack story, anything like that. Cool story. I felt like it could have been executed better.
The story was fun for those who've been following it. There were some plot holes, but I was more concerned about the general audience. Now, if you hadn't subscribed to Disney Plus or watch WandaVision or any of those shows, you'd be like, what happened to Scarlet Witch? Why is she like this? Last time I saw was Endgame. What's going on? Why is she this evil? And even for those who had watched WandaVision, she wasn't there just yet. She's tripped over now, just like, I've had enough now.
Yeah, because a lot of people had to last minute watch WandaVision to get the gist of, do you know what I mean? For example, e.lga. Loved WandaVision, but you had to watch WandaVision to understand, okay, what's got to this point now. So yeah, as you were saying.
I heard someone, when I watched it the second time, say, why is he in the wheelchair, talking about Professor X? And I was like, what? Hello? Why are you even here?
To be fair, that person has never seen a Marvel film to even say that. I don't think they're doing that.
Wait, how old are they?
It was a child, but still.
Okay, that's fine.
I still feel like they should still have.
It should still know. Sorry, nobody's having an excuse.
I know. You should still have. I'm such a snob when it comes to this movie. You should still have some prior knowledge.
There was a big plot hole for me, which if I'm happy to discuss, I can discuss now.
Before we get into it, spoiler alert, guys. So we're about to head into spoiler territory. So we're already
A bit late.
One more, you lot. Do you know what I mean? Marvel said themselves, you had till Monday, whenever this is out. I'm sorry.
So we've probably discussed this already, like off camera and stuff, but the whole point of Wanda using her, the whole point of WandaVision was she didn't know she could control the power of reality. Like that was still new to her, and somebody else was controlling her, and then she found out how to do it. And by how this film starts, Dr. Strange goes to visit, like, yo, your sis, I need help with this girl, like she's in trouble. Like, come and help me. And she's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm in the farmland. I've got apple trees. I've got the sheep in the background. That does the thing. Like, no, it's all fake. Like, she even convinced Doctor Strange. I was like, hold on, wait. If you can do all that, why do you need to go to the multiverse? Just stay here and make your kids. Something was off with those kids. Those kids were fake as well. So there's very possibility that Wanda's done a fake vision there. So I don't know why you go into another years to get the one. Just stay here and make your kids and chill and have a nice day. That's what I would think.
I have a rebuttal on that.
I also do.
Okay. I mentioned in our group chat, but she always had an issue with people telling her that her kids are not real. So if she now just conjures up new kids, I feel like that's her admitting to herself that her kids are not real. Like, we know that they're fake. We know that she has the power to just make new kids, but I think that would have pushed her over the edge a lot sooner rather than later.
When you were talking about, like, you feel like it's a plot hole, I don't necessarily feel like her entire story arc is a plot hole, because she could just magic up new children and stuff like that. But as Tayo was saying, like, it's, if everyone is telling her that they're not real, so if she does end up making her children, then everyone's going to look at her as if she's even more crazy. And I think they're just trying to push the narrative that she's crazy throughout the entire movie. And I think that's the heavy focus on it. So, like, she is mentally unstable, especially after all the trauma that she's kind of been through.
Overall, the story, I think it could have been more punchier. I felt like the main focus was Wanda, and we'll obviously get into how incredible she was as an actress and as the Scarlet Witch, but I felt like it should have been a Strange movie. All in all, yes, of course he was, we saw a lot of him, but I felt like there was a bit of an imbalance, and especially coming from this being his sequel as well, so it's a big thing for him. Obviously, I'm gonna hopefully assume that from 3 that the focus is going to revert back to him. In regards to our next topic, the theme of the movie, and how you guys felt about if they kind of brought horror, and for me, I never thought this was a horror movie. But, there were some certain moments. Obviously, I was told as well that they obviously have to cut things out because, again, Disney, you can't get too dark, and I think that's kind of, for me anyways, where it lacks.
I felt like the horror elements were strong. I'd call this I said this to someone else, this is a horror movie for kids. This is for beginners. Like, if there was a book, my first horror movie, that type of vibe. I remember one particular scene, because Sam Raimi is known for the Evil Dead. His horror is not the typical horror. Sometimes there's comedy mixed with it as well. And there's a lot of creepiness. And I remember the one particular scene where when the other Wanda's trying to possess the other Wanda to control her mind and then she's walking in the kitchen and there's a picture frame of Wanda and it turns. I was like, oh, that's a Sam Raimi horror element right there. That's very strong.
Yeah, I have to agree with Steven. I'm a massive horror fan, so it didn't scare me, but I can appreciate the horror notes that it had. One of my favorite scenes was when Wanda came out of the gong, and she, like, literally her body was dismantled and was giving me the Ring vibes. And then there was another part where she was fighting, just before she was fighting Illuminati, and she had like blood like kind of half down her face, was giving me Carrie vibes. So it's like there's definitely similarities to previous horrors that we have, but it didn't scare me per se.
The next thing is maybe going into the cinematography, and I feel like you can just tell it was just Marvel, the colors, the theme. You can just tell that they always wanted to add that, not gloss over, but add that, Marvel, that kind of Marvel paint. Maybe a few CGI pickups, but it was something where it wasn't too obvious.
CGI, oh boy. You could tell, I think I could tell which one were the reshoots and the ones that they had done previously. I think the reshoots were the ones that had the bad CGI. They're like, come on, let's just grab this. There's no more money for this. We've stretched out this £1. Oh, yeah. Yo.
So I think this is something I definitely want to discuss. And probably three stood out for me, but the characters. Definitely want to go around and find out from everyone who are your favorite characters? Who were characters that were a waste of time? Who were characters that needed to be fleshed out?
I'll give you my top 3 favorite characters, which are Wanda Maximoff, can't test her, Doctor Strange, and Wong. I actually really enjoyed Wong in this film.
Top 3 for me. Well, I think I've only got top 2, if I'm honest. Wanda, I thought even with all her cheesy lines they gave her, she made the best out of it. Besides her lines, she was really good. She really delivered, and I felt the sinister. I was like, okay, she's not playing in this movie. That's not a joke. Doctor Strange, I'm in love with that character now, and I wasn't back in the day from the comics. So this way, it was just a B superhero to me. I was like, you're just here with your hands move. But I'm really loving this performance, and I did like the fact they got to play different versions of themselves.
I feel like Wanda and Doctor Strange are kind of like, they are the 2 characters that we spend the most time with, and most of the time you either love them or you hate them. I think you love them both for specifically different reasons. I went into this film thinking that Doctor Strange was going to be completely corrupt like by the end of it. I guess there's some hints to it with the third eye at the end, but I didn't expect Wanda to go down that level of craziness, if I could be quite honest. I didn't expect it, and I always love a villain. Like, I always love a good villain. Like,
no, I definitely agree. I think we're all in agreement that Wanda was incredible, and I think it was one of those ones where she was incredible because of the different perspectives she played. Obviously, yeah, like I said, going back into the Illuminati scene, personally, I never want to see that 838 Illuminati ever again. Hated the lineup, but loved Professor X and Reed Richards out of it. Loved how, they paid homage to the X-Men animated series when Professor X, glided in, and they had the theme tune as well. Is there any stuff that you loved?
I loved most of this film, to be honest. I loved the Easter eggs of Reed Richards and Professor Xavier. Honestly, I thought we were gonna get more X-Men in this film, especially after seeing Professor X. I nearly screamed in the cinema when I saw him. I thought they were gonna get a lot more, and I kind of felt like they were a little bit underplayed, but I guess sprinkling that in kind of gives us Fantastic Four and X-Men fans some hope, some ray of sunshine.
I loved the first 20 minutes of this film. I thought that's probably the strongest point of the film. I mean, from when you go straight in, there's not even a title. It just goes straight in. Doctor Strange with America just running from this monster, and it's in a wacky world, and I loved all that. The Spanish came in as well. Yes, come on, let's go. This is fun. This is what I want.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think we all enjoyed Doctor Strange. I really liked how we saw more of his powers, how they evolved, the things that we haven't seen before with the hands that come and get the pole and dig the thing in the eye. That scene was that was one of the graphic scenes when the eye just popped out. I was like, but I like seeing stuff like that. I like seeing his different abilities, even with Wong, Wong with his sword. I just feel like they gave us more of everyone's powers and everyone's abilities.
Definitely. No, I definitely agree. And I do like there was some things that was really ripped straight out from the comic books. We're now kind of, I guess, more hungry for the third movie. It wasn't something that we went into and we came out and just like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it again. Because I'm still very much looking forward to the third installment of, Doctor Strange. Yeah, I guess that's something where we go into our next topic, which is what we didn't like. And I feel like, me personally, I didn't really like that Wanda was the main villain. I thought it would have been great to just have her as one of the many villains, and obviously there was the bigger twist.
One thing I didn't like is that we didn't get to explore the multiverse in more depth. I understand they probably didn't have enough time. In terms of timing of the film, I expected more time, but what they gave us, I guess there just wasn't enough time for that. I just wanted to see, even if it was just one more multiverse, more. I just wanted to see it, the one that they were in. I think it was 868, where everyone's wearing hats. Why is everyone wearing hats? I want to know. I just wanted them to give us more of an explanation of things, or just explain things a lot more.
I'll say one thing, because most of the stuff that you guys didn't like, I didn't like as well. Like the trailer, I didn't like the trailer, and on just simply with the fact of they showed too much. I think this film would have worked even better for me if I had never seen any of the trailers. And there are rumors that even Kevin Feige is not happy how the trailers were cut, because he's not in charge of them. It's Disney marketing, so he wasn't happy with it as well. And I think it does ruin the film a little bit as well. And the pacing, some of the pace was a bit off as well at times.
Things I didn't like, the Illuminati. I felt like they were completely underused. They literally got one-shotted by Wanda in every aspect. It was low-key embarrassing. Not even low-key, high-key embarrassing. When, okay, so in the last act, when Wanda finally gets America, why did it take her so long to kill her? Like, legit, legit, think about it. Doctor Strange had to fight his other self in the other dimension. He had to get like that dark book or whatever it was, read the incantations, do everything, fight off some spirits, and then he had to go all the way to the mountain cave area. And that entire time, America was still chained up. That entire time. Like that.
It's the process. We don't know the magic.
No. You are making loads of excuses for this film.
Not even excuses though, but
it
Who's
just
giving the
felt
high
like
rate
a lot.
out? You or her?
No. My rating is so low.
Like Doctor Strange had to go through a lot of steps to get to her, and she was still like kicking and screaming. That shit didn't make any sense to me, and I was just like sitting there, I was like, she's definitely gonna die, right?
Overall, guys, what did you think about Doctor Strange 2 and the future for the MCU and where it's placing now?
This film has confirmed there are some cracks in the MCU. They really hyped this film up, and it doesn't live even close to my expectations whatsoever at all. But I think people are still going to have fun with this film anyway.
Yeah, I will have to agree with Steven that I wanted to love it, but I didn't. I didn't love it, especially because as much as I have said that you can't expect Endgame hype, I want Endgame hype. Like, I want to have that experience again. I want to have that. Like, even till this day, I still remember how I felt in the cinema.
I thought this was just going to open like a lot of doors, but it felt like there wasn't any doors that were kind of being open. It felt like they were all just kind of locked. So that's the only thing that I felt like we just didn't get enough of. And I wanted this film to be more exciting than it was going to be.
Yes, I wanted that Endgame level for this movie, and unfortunately we didn't get it. It is a very good movie. Again, the rewatch value on this is immense. This is not better than No Way Home, and I don't really want to do comparisons because this is Doctor Strange as a review and stuff like that, but I wanted it to be better than that, you know. Unfortunately, I think with so many trailers, especially the way they just did it, it was a lot that was revealed. But again, it is a very enjoyable movie. I'll probably go see it again in the next couple of weeks. Overall, even going to watch it on second viewing, I am going to give it a 7.8 out of 10. Uggs, what would you give this movie?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Steven?
Well, I've seen it twice now, and it's made the experience even worse than the first time I saw it. So now it's going to be a 6.5 out of 10.
Because when he came to the group chat and he said 6.5, maybe 7, I wanted to shout.
I was like, okay. I would give it a 7.5, and that's after seeing it twice as well. I think I'm firm on my 7.5 out of 10.
All right, so that is it, folks. You have heard our deep dive, our review, our thoughts and our feelings on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. Let us know in the comment section down below what you found and how you felt about the movie. You know, it's a great movie all in all. It's not perfect, but we definitely would recommend you all watching it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You already know what it is. We will see you guys in our next video.